Oh shit. Alright. So I showed you the Twig with the 16x16 stack, which is this guy right here. And then I got these other two. So I'm just going to show you different kinds of ways that you can build this up. So, come on. So like I was saying, here's the one that I showed with the 16x16 stack. Okay. So you can see it's the canopy's raised up 10 millimeters to account for the stack. Everything fits in there beautifully with the XM Plus, XM Plus and the Unify Pro 32 Nano on top of the stack. Actually, the receiver is pressed up against the back of the camera, so you can access the bind button right here. And then the Pro 32 Nano is stuck straight to the stack. So there's that one. These two are both using the GEPRC 12 amp whoop style flight controller. This one has 1104 7500 kV motors on it, the DYS. Pretty beefy motor for a frame like this, but this is a pretty durable frame, so I think it's gonna hold up. But anyway, you can see how the canopy goes straight on top of the flight controller right here. This one has the Hoverbot 1103 8000 kV motors that everybody wants, but nobody will ever get again because they're not making them anymore. That's so stupid. Do they have a good reason for that? I mean, you just hear it around town like, hey, they're not making Hoverbots anymore. Oh shit, okay. Well, is there a reason, or is that a fact, or what? I would like to hear it from Hoverbot. Why they would stop making a motor that everybody wants. Doesn't make sense. So these were bought a long time ago. Anyway, so this is how you would want to do it. You would want to use not long, but longer M2 screws. Actually, I don't know how long these are. I got this. Let me show you real quick. I got this from Heli Nation. They have it, but they're M2 screws. You get a whole bunch of nuts too, but they're all different sizes. Real short ones all the way up to super long ones. Obviously, I've used all the super long ones. The ones that are on this stack, both of these stacks, is this size right here. So just to let you know, so you know what to get, or if you buy this nice case from Heli Nation, I think those are the ones. Yeah, I only have 2 left. I've been using these like crazy. I didn't know if I was going to use all these or not, but I've been using a bunch of these. The only thing I don't really like that much is that this is not a M1.5 hole. It's smaller. So this is 15 millimeters. So you want something around 15 millimeters. But yeah, they have this hole. Luckily, I have one of these screwdrivers with all these different things. Let me show you. There's so many. I mean, I would be able to unscrew any screw with all these. But yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the normal 1.5 millimeter. Just a little bit. But anyway, so something around 15 millimeters long. And what I do is I put down an M2 nut, and that holds the screw in place as well, which is really nice. Then put a rubber grommet, then put the flight controller down, then put another M2 nut, then the canopy. So that way you can adjust like how tight the flight controller gets or how high or low the canopy is, and the flight controller will still stay the same. So you can raise the canopy up a little bit. You can see how far in I got the screw. It's sticking out the top there a little bit. But you don't want too much pressure on the flight controller because it'll make it fly crazy. It'll just blast off to the sky as soon as you arm it if it's too tight. So you want it to be nice and loose on there with rubber, you know, isolating it. So it's got nice, just a little bit of pressure squeezes it down, so I can tell it's just perfect. And then what I did is, like I showed before in another video, I broke the plugs off, then flip the flight controller upside down, solder the motors to the pads, then flip it back over, and then just, you know, you're ready to go. You just screw down your motors and you're done. Yeah, this one turned out pretty nice. I think this is the nicest Twig that I've done so far. I love that you can get to the USB on the bottom. This frame is beastly. This one's gonna be just perfect. You got access to the receiver bind button right here, and you have access to the VTX button on this side right here. So if you turn them around the right way, so I got the Nano Pro 32 where the button is on the left side, and then you put your receiver turned around the other way so the button is on the right side. Then you can just put them right next to each other and you got the buttons right there on the outside. Actually, you can get to the button right here too because I have the canopy raised up a little bit. So I think in this configuration the props are definitely not going to be in view at all. That mesh looks really nice too, so yeah, beautiful quad here. This one I threw on the self-adjusting battery holder, and a couple of years ago I was flying 1104 7500 kV on 2-inch 2.5-inch frames, and I was using a 452S just like this right here. The Tattoo ones were like the only ones available back then, so I was using the Tattoo 452S long ones, and then they had the shorter, fatter ones. And I was getting pretty decent flight times on these motors, so just because they're 1104s doesn't mean you're only going to get like a minute flight time on this. It's not much bigger than an 1103. So, and this Race Day Quad's 450 fits in here just perfect. Nice and snug. It's not going anywhere. Beautiful. So yeah, there's the three. Pretty sweet. So out of those three that I was giving to people if they have me build it, I believe 2 of them are spoken for, so I have 1 left. And I keep having people leaving comments where they're like, I want one, you know, but that's all they say, and they don't say anything more or try to get a hold of me or anything. My phone number is all over YouTube and RC groups, and just, you know, the next person that says, I don't know, something. I mean, I've had like 10 people say I want it, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Just say it's mine or something. Alright. We got the Speed Racer Twig. Beautiful, beautiful little quads here. I think I've covered everything. 16x16 stack, whoop style flight controller. You can fit 1104s on here. It doesn't look bad, and it's probably going to fly excellent. 7500 kV is a good kV for these quads. 6500, 7500 with a 3-inch prop. You can also use a 65mm prop, throw it on there, and it's going to fly great too. So, all right.